So today, as a part of hands-on session, so we'll just try to have some hands-on session on LODs. And here we have actually, 5 questions which will be needing LOD, and or some questions may not, but yeah, still let's try to, you know, uh, solve this together. So maybe we can take a couple of minutes and go through, and let's get started with the first one. Yeah. Hope everyone got the hands-on file, starter file.
Yeah, I have received it. Jerome, would you want to maybe walk through each question when we get a chance?
Yeah, okay. So this is first one and relatively simple. So here maybe let's say we have order ID.
No, not the solution. I just meant like what's the okay. If it's a simple question, it's fine. Just explain the question, what is required, and give a couple of minutes for everyone to try, and then we'll go through the solution from your side.
Okay. So as we are aware with the sample superstores data, we have this customer ID, order ID. So here the first question is relatively simple. So we want to find what is the sales amount per order. So that's the question.
Nice. Okay.
Is it just per order or per order per customer? Because customer ID is by default there on that question.
No, that was by mistake. You can just ignore that, and we just want per order. No need of customer.
See, 8.6.
Yeah. And Akhil, would you like to walk through the solution?
Okay, good. I just took this as a KPI visual, okay? And this is how I did it.
Yeah.
This is how I did it. Basically, I took sum of sales by count listing of order IDs.
Yeah, that's it.
It's KPI visual. We really don't need to have any LODs. Just sum of sales by count listing of order.
Okay. We need not use LODs for all of this, huh?
No. We need not.
Okay.
I'll stop my screen share.
Yeah. So quickly let me move on to the second one. So here the question is something like this. So we have to just get the list of customers who has bought at least all the subcategories, and those subcategories are basically the fasteners, machines, and supplies. So any customer who has bought all these 3 subcategories, just we have to show their list. So that's about the second question.
Drag the subcategory to filter and show it here so that they can.
Okay. So drag the subcategory.
We'll have to show them the problem. Like, so when you use that, so what kind of data comes in when you select all the 3? Just show it to them so that they can understand the actual question.
Okay. So here, if you see, these are the customers like who has bought in any of these 3 actually, fasteners, machine, supplies. But what we are interested in is it like someone who has bought all the 3 actually, not just 1, 2, but instead everyone should have bought all those 3. Someone like that. Yeah. So for example, we have seen this particular customer, he has bought all the in all the 3 subcategories. So basically, we are interested in looking at the customers who has bought all the 3, not just any one of those or 2 of those, something like this, and or someone like this. So this we have to just get the list of these customers. So this is what expected.
Got it, Jayram.
Okay. So here again, we will just go with the simple LOD actually. So what we will just try to do, we will just try to count the number of different subcategories at a customer name level. So let's say fixed customer name, count distinct subcategory. We will just give equal to 3. Yeah. So on this kinds of does each customer name, like how many subcategories they have bought, and we are basically looking for 3 of them. So we'll just give apply, okay, and we will add calculation 1 to filter and select true, but still we may not be able to see the right results because subcategories has to be added to context. Yeah. Once you do that, we will have the list of customers who has purchased in at least all of these 3 particular subcategories.
Yeah, I think we have to make that number dynamic because they can choose 4 categories, for example.
Yeah. Then in that case, what we can do, we can just create a parameter and we can just pass it instead of 3, and subcategory also we can show it in filter.
Yeah, so we can use another fixed variable to find out how many subcategories have been filtered at a total level, not at a customer level. So that number can be passed as a parameter.
Yeah, that's also fine.
Did anyone else try any different route other than using context filter or other LODs to get this? Just curious. I mean, this is a good solution.
No, Sanjay, you meant something like this, right?
So now it doesn't work. Like, what did you know?
So just what I did is, like, I have just declared this. I have just used this particular.
Yeah. So I was going to stay with it in another calculator field and then put that there. Yeah, you can do it straightforward.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move on to the next one, or anyone have anything else to add to this particular question?
I think we can move on.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. So in this case, we have to just find how many product IDs are profitable or unprofitable in each subcategories. So let's say I pull my subcategory and I have my product ID here. Let me add some form. So here, if you see, like for in each subcategory, we have maybe for this particular accessories, we have 144 product ID. Out of those, some may be profitable and some are unprofitable. So basically we want just like for each subcategory how many of them are profitable and how many of them are unprofitable. We just want out of this 144 for this particular accessories, we want to know like how many of them are profit and how many of them are unprofitable. So that is something has to be achieved with this particular question.
Can we simply use a true or false calculated field and filter?
Yeah, or maybe actually if you use true or false, then maybe if you create that, we can drop in color. Basically you want split off both of them actually.
Okay, we want both. Okay. Yeah, we can do that because already it's in that level. I don't think we need LOD if it's already in that level.
No. What do you mean by that
Basically, Sanjay, the question is to have that chart at a subcategory level
Yeah.
and just show how many profitable products and how many
Okay,
unprofitable products.
got
you
it,
can
got it.
create
I thought you just want to tick which all the stuff which is like profitable.
Yeah.
Something like stacked bar chart. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see the solution. So what we will do is, again, we will just create a LOD at product level. So if fixed product ID sum of profit greater than 0, then 1, else 0, end. Yeah, so this is something we can just use, and here we can take the product ID to columns and change this to count distinct, and just take this out, and then whatever calculation we wrote, that we can drop in color as a dimension. And this will basically give us the split, if the product ID is profitable or not.
So I did a slightly different version, just same thing, almost the same thing. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, let me see.
So I just wrote a field that is a dimension LOD. So basically the one you created is a measure LOD, right, Charan? Yeah, there's a dimension one. So the if condition comes inside ELOD. That's all the differences. So basically this will give you two categories, profitable and unprofitable. And you just drag in the count distinct product as part of the visual, not as a part of the LOD.
Okay.
That's the difference. So if you can put this like this, you get the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing, but instead of the word profitable and unprofitable, I used 1 and 0.
Okay, cool.
So you just get profitable.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. me share my screen again. So here on this particular question, so let me pull my customer name. So basically we want to find what is the gap between the first order and second order. So let's say if you take this Arun Bergman, he has purchased his first order in 18th Feb and second order in 7th of March. So basically we want the difference, like how many days or what is the gap between the time he has taken to purchase the second order. Maybe I think in this case it's 17 days. So we just wanted to show like how to get or how we arrive at the gap between the first order and second order in terms of number of days. And that's the expected output of this particular question. Okay, now let's go with the solution. So let me create calculated field. So in this case, actually we have to first get for each customer, like when he or she has placed the first order, then second order, then we can just go with the date diff function and we will be able to get the difference. So the first order date is actually as simple. So for fixed customer name and min of order date. Yeah, so this will give us basically, when, okay. Yeah, so when our customer has placed the first order, let me pull this calculation 3 to yeah, calculation 3. Now the challenge is to get the second order. So for that, what we will do is we will just try to just a minute, let me straight away show it. So what we will do, like fixed customer name. So if my order date is greater than the minimum of the order date, meaning like whenever my customer has placed my first order, then I want the order date and end. So but here what I'll do, I'll just add the minimum function. So what it does, let me see the output and explain. So now what it does is, so this particular piece of code, what it does, it will just go for fixed customer ID. It will straight away go to order date like 18/2 and it will check if it is greater than the minimum of order. So 18 Feb can't be greater than 18 Feb, so it will skip on to the next one. So basically 3/7/2015, if it is greater than 28, it's true, and rest all dates also qualify this condition. But what we are trying to get, or what we are trying to return, is whatever is minimum, of those whichever is greater than the first order. So this particular thing will return us, the minimum order, like whichever is the second most. And now we can just do a simple date diff between this. So date diff, and we basically want the day.
If you want a day, you don't need to go for day diff. You can directly subtract it. That will by default give you a day's difference.
Oh, okay.
Just a thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was unaware of this. This is cool. So we will just get the difference in terms of like when my customer has purchased first and when is his next order. So I can just remove this out, and this will basically give the difference between the first and second order. So any other approach or any other thoughts, or shall we move on to the next one?
Instead of greater, I used not equal to. Even that will.
Yeah, that also works. Yeah.
I think this is. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. One more small improvement that you can do to this calculate field is to use the first order date field. If you return that separately, you can use that inside this one. That way it'll become easier when you go for the third order date, fourth order date. It'll become so you can just change that field name alone, and the same structure would still work.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice. So most of us, like, I also tend to do it like this only whenever there is a requirement. But I always wanted to try. There is a approach with the rank functionality. So. But it's at the moment I'm not slightly unsure. But yeah, if we can potentially rank order dates at the customer level, maybe we can. The only issue with this approach is like I see it's difficult for first and second. It's easy, but if you have to go for higher dates like 10th date or that likewise, it might get a lot of it will be easy from logical standpoint, but it might be difficult from time consuming standpoint. So yeah, this is something I'm yet to try. I didn't try, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to rank it at rank as a table calculation.
Yeah, the table calculation will have to use up all the order dates on the visual. The visual should be at order date level for the table calc to work.
I think so,
Bring the rank to filter, Jairam, and just filter down to first and second ranks at a customer level. That way you have 2 points for each customer. Then you do the delta between them.
You have to rank to filter. Calculation was not showing result. It did. Yeah,
I think so much data is there. It's flowing till 17. After that, it's
okay. Just drag it and see if it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now you have to do another table calculation to get the date diff.
Okay, fine. I think that.
You can use a quick table calculation difference from previous for order date.
Yeah, that's also something we can do.
First sort this on 1 and 2, the calculation 4, so that you have first always the first date. Right click on, just go and hover over calculation 4, the headers. There is an option, right click on it, and you will be seeing ascending or descending option there.
Oh, it's a
Implement.
dimension. You have to
Dimension.
change it to a.
Or maybe we can just use the lookup function offset and just
Yeah.
subtract. That's also
Yeah.
something you can try.
Yep.
Yeah. I think 2 or let's see.
-1.
I don't know why this offset is not working.
First check with offset of 1. Because if you go for offset of 0, it will be like same row. If you say 1, it will be like next row.
I think since we are passing
Need
the
the
max.
-1.
Sorry?
See, but you need -1. So for Alan Huang, if you see,
I think since you are passing the max, it's taking the
taking-
max
Yeah.
in the entire data set, and it's working only for that, not for each customer name actually. And there is no other way. We have to put some aggregate function for lookup or table calculation.
Can we use fixed in that?
No,
Yes,
table
we use
calculation and
LOD in
LOD
that?
can't be used in
Can't be used,
combination.
no?
Yeah.
you can change the date into a time measure mode. You can.
Yeah.
1123 is correct. Okay.
But still, we have to pass some
No,
aggregate function.
actually, if you use window max and window min and just subtract them, that will give you the difference, because we are just looking for 2 orders as if we already filtered that out. So you just take window max of the calculation 6 that you took minus window min of calculation that you took. That will give you this solution. Actually.
Again, for window max, also some aggregation has to be passed, no?
No, the calculation 6, you take that calculation 6 and you just take AVG. That's fine, because AVG of because anyway you're having order date in your as a one other dimension. So you just take one row. So even though if you pass minimum, maximum, AVG, anything, it works.
Okay.
And window max and min, you control it at which level you would like to do.
Customer name. Yeah.
Okay. First change the filter calculation 4. Keep using. Because I think it broke the calculation 4. Seems like everything is having one.
Okay. Maybe with the interest of time, let's move on to the next one. I think this is going to take far out.
I'm sure like we can figure it out, but yeah, let's try to cover it some other time.
Yeah, sure. So the last one. So let's add the state And what here we want, like we'll be mapping, we'll be showing the state versus sales in map, but what we want to return in that map is in the each state, instead of showing, generally we show the sum of sales in labels, but instead we would like to show whichever city has the maximum sales. For example, let me add city also to the view, and let me add the sales. So in this case, let's say I think mobile has got the most sales in the Alabama. So similarly, we have to show for each state, like what is the city or which city has got the maximum sales actually at a state level. The output would be something like, let me remove this. Yeah, so here we'll be showing the each city, like whichever for that particular state, whichever city has got the maximum sales, only that city we will just try to show it. Yeah, that's the expected. Okay, so let's see how to achieve that. Okay, so first actually we have to just try to get the maximum, city sales. So for this again we will just write an LOD. So fixed state, comma city, some sales. Okay, so this will just create, it will just aggregate the entire data with state and city with some sales. And the reason like why I'm adding city in this is, let's say, let me add the calculation 7. It seems like some of this city is sharing with 2 states, or I'm not sure if it is because of name or if it is because of geography. So let's say if we change this to discrete, if we don't put state in the LOD, we'll be observing, the numbers are not in sync. For example, if you see these particular cities, the sales, I think this particular city is there in some other state as well, and that may not show us the right data. So that's the reason we are just trying to add state and city, both of them. Yeah. And then from here we just want top for each city, so we will just write a nested LOD here. So fixed state max of this. Yeah, apply. So now if you see, we are able to grasp, what is the maximum sales per state and which city, like what is the value. So now here it's as simple as that. So we will just write a if statement linking those actually. So if this particular thing is equal to the inside one which we wrote. And then city and so now if you see, like for each state it's returning whichever city has got the max sales. Now we can represent this in map actually. So let me remove this out and I can just start the calculation sound to label. So it will show in each state whichever city has got the maximum sales. Yeah, so I think with this we are done for today.